Yo, what's good, everybody? I'm back again. Top One Hoops, Top One Talks. Eli Thomas, if you know me in person, whatever you want to call me, right? And this video is gonna be interesting to me. And we're 3 days away from the NBA season to start. We're finna get 82 games straight of NBA game. Well, not straight, but 82 games of NBA basketball. Like we're gonna get basketball every single day, except Thanksgiving, until February, until the All Star break. So I get to go to school, I get to go home, and I get to come right back here to watch real deal hoops. You know how excited I am to do it, bro? I'm super excited to do it, right? And I'm not asking for no followers, I'm not asking for no likes. You can sub if you want to, if you enjoy being here. But I just want to be on television one day. And about that, right? And I know if you're coming from TikTok, I say it every time, and you're probably used to hearing it. But I really have no slogan, so I guess I use that as my slogan, as my little lingo. But I just want to congratulate Kenny Beecham at the beginning of this video because, you know, as a guy who's watched you for years and a guy who wants to be, in that position one day where you're at, um, it's just I'm, it's like you watch a close friend finally achieve their goal. You're probably never gonna see me say this. You probably would never know who I am, but it's just I just want to congratulate him. If anybody knows him, right, that's watching my video, he just signed the NBC, and he just gives me confidence and enthusiasm to come and do this every day, no matter if it's one person watching or 50,000 people watching. And I say I want to be on television one day, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But guys like him, right, that worked their way up to do it, that just willed to work no matter who was watching, just give me confidence to come up here and talk about, the game that I love. The confidence to study stats and watch ball no matter who's watching me. Just doing it for the pure love of the game. Just doing it for the pure love of the game. Right? But we're going to jump right into what this video is for and what this video is called. My preseason thoughts, the mind of Top One Talks, the minds of Elijah Thomas, the mind of, Top One Hoops. And we have a lot to look forward to this season. We have a ton of teams with a ton of storylines. Will Shea go back to back? Will Jokic get to the mountaintop again? Right? Will Tatum ever come back this year? Will the Celtics stay afloat? Right? Will the Rockets with Kevin Durant make some noise and finally get to the conference finals again since 2018, 2019, right? Will the Warriors make some noise? Will the Timberwolves find themselves in the finals, back-to-back conference finals for the past 2 years? Will the Knicks fans finally get something? Will the Knicks fans finally see their team in the NBA finals since 1973? My mom was 1 year old when the Knicks went and won an NBA championship. Will Giannis have a good Bucks year, or will he be in a Bucks uniform in February? Will Embiid hasn't played a preseason game since 2023. He looks healthy. Will Embiid be healthy during the whole entire year? Right? There's a ton of storylines to be said. A ton of things to be determined. And not only that, we can talk about, aside from basketball, right, all the media things going on, right? NBC coming to the NBA, the round ball rock, right? The great song that we all know. Well, I don't know. I haven't heard it on television. I'm not that old. I'm not. Well, let me chill. If you've heard that song before, you're not old. You're not old. But I've never seen it on national television because I'm just young. I'm not old enough to be able to watch that. But the Amazon Prime, right? Inside the NBA, moving from TNT to ESPN. I see ESPN doing some things different with the Coach's Corner. We're finally getting the X's and O's of basketball. But we're going to jump right into it. I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to start it off with a little just some talks, right? Just some rough just some rough things. And I'm saying, I'm making that noise, that breath, right? Because John Morant, as if you're from my TikTok page, right, you know that I have John Morant as my profile picture, right? And I could easily change that, right? I could easily make it to a picture of myself or, a visual of something else. But I just keep it like that because my favorite player is. I don't care to change it. But that jersey that he has in that picture very much could change for the next year or so. I believe that this might be the beginning of the end for the tenure of John Morant as a Memphis Grizzly. You know why I think that? Is because if you look at the team, right, it's already a season from hell. Scottie Pippen's already injured. Jaren Jackson just got from surgery, right? And he doesn't really look well in preseason. He still looks like he's trying to get his legs up under him again. He's really been struggling, right? Zach Edey's not going to be there to start the year, right? Brandon Clark's already out. It's just so many. Ty Jerome just tweaked whatever he tweaked in the Miami Heat preseason game. It's so many things that's already going wrong with the Grizzlies. Already. John Morant hasn't played one preseason game. And if you look at the way this organization has been after the Desmond Bane trade, it doesn't look like they're poised to say, okay, we want to pay you, Ja. We're going to give you your extension, and that's going to be it. As a John Morant fan, the Grizzlies shouldn't do it, bro. They shouldn't give John Morant his extension, right? If they do, then you're just banking on you're just going to draft really well again, and your Jalen Wilson looked really good. You're going to hope for the progression from him, right? Javon Smalls has looked really good. You got to hope from progression that he can be a legit backup point guard, right? But there's like a ton of guards on that roster. Scottie Pippen is going to come back eventually. But the wing depth is not that good, right? Gigi Jackson, he's been shaky in his limited minutes. Cedric Coward, I like him, right? But there's not much to show. He only played 6 games last year in college. So them trading Desmond Bane for them for 4 first round picks, it's like we do we want to rebuild? Right? Do we want to rebuild? And John Morant is 26 years old. He just turned 26 over the summer. So this is where you start to think, I gotta contend, bro. I gotta go contend. I've been an all-star. I've been in the MVP race. Right? I've been an all-NBA player. Like, I'm trying to go contend. And this team doesn't look like they'll be in contention for the next 3 to 4 years, bro. They don't. They don't. And when John Morant and Jaren Jackson play together, they're a really good basketball team. They're a really good offensive basketball team. And I think they're really good together. But they can't trade Jaren now. They just gave him an extension. Like, I just think it would be the wrong decision for them to give, because John Morant's probably going to want his max, right? He's probably going to want his max shouldn't be that high because he hasn't played 65 games and God knows when. But I just think that if you give him the extension that he probably wants, then it's the wrong decision. But moving on to a guy who has a big year to prove for himself as well, Trae Young. And if you're coming from my TikTok page, I'm on there. I'm known as the Trae Young hater, and I don't hate Trae Young. I really like Trae Young. I think he's done great things for the city of Atlanta. I think he's a really good basketball player. It's just that it's a big year for him. He has a lot to prove, right? Trae Young has a player option after this season, and they've yet to come to a extension, right? They've yet to come to an extension, and that's because they want to see him prove it on the basketball floor before they give him this extension. How much are you worth? And he's probably looking at De'Aaron Fox and saying, bro, De'Aaron Fox got the max. I'm better than him. I believe Trae Young is better than De'Aaron Fox, right? I think it was the wrong decision by the organization to give De'Aaron Fox that max. I don't really think that De'Aaron Fox should deserve that much money. But Trae Young's probably looking at that, okay, that's the market now. I need to get paid a little bit more because I'm better than him. But the Hawks are saying, no, we want to do the right thing, right? Because I've said on podcasts, I've said on TikTok, if we put it into this perspective, right? Do we really think that Trae Young is our franchise player for the Atlanta Hawks? He's done a lot of great things for us, but is he our franchise player? Because there's players that are just flat out better than him, and there's players younger, much younger than him, that are better right now. Just to name a few, Giannis is better. Brunson is better. K to me is better. Paolo Banchero is better. Donovan Mitchell is better. Right? That's 5 guys already. Tatum when he comes back. Hallie to me is better when he comes back. Right? That's 7 guys in your conference that are legit better than you. And some of them are younger than you. Paolo's younger than you. Tatum's just a tad bit older. These guys are your competition. They're not going anywhere. Did I say Donovan Mitchell as well? They're not going anywhere. And you got to think about the second options in the world that are just getting better. Cat. He had a really good year last year. Evan Mobley, he's only 23 years old. He's going to get better, right? So, do we really want to pay you when, as our franchise guy, we don't really think we can win a championship with you as the number one guy? Are you our number one guy, Trae Young? For me, I think he's the number 2 on the championship team. I think he's good. I don't think he's good enough to be your number 1. Because there's only a select few of guys who could be your number 1 guy and be 6 foot, 6'1", soaking wet, maybe, unless you're just Steph Curry, and he's not Steph Curry, right? So if you just look at the preseason alone, Jalen Johnson, Zachary Ricochet, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Okongwu, Dyson Daniels are all shot over 50% from the field in the preseason. Jalen Johnson stood out with 63% from the field and 15 points per game, right? Kristaps Porzingis shot dang near close with 47. Trae Young shot 27% from the field and averaged 10 points. You got to go prove it, bro. I'm sorry. You got to go. And I'm just being critical, right? Because I think Trae Young, we've seen him in the past shoot over 35% from 3, 36% from 3. We've seen it, bro. We've seen you shoot above 44% from the field. Like, I know the talent hasn't been great around you, but this is the best roster they built for you. I think it's the perfect roster for Trae Young. A lot of 3-and-D wings that can run in transition. You got a legit second option if he's healthy, and Porzingis that fits your scheme. You could pick and pop. If we have to, we have a Okongwu off the bench who can play your game like a John Collins, where he can be a legit lob threat at the goal. We can run a lot of different lineups. You have a defensive player of the year candidate on your team, right? Jalen Johnson is a star in the making, Trae Young. But it's up to you to prove that you can do it. This is the best opportunity for Trae Young to get to the conference finals. There's no Tatum. There's no Halliburton. It's just, there's only 3 teams legit. No argument better than the Hawks. That's the Magic, the Cavaliers, and the Knicks. Right? So, if you don't prove it to us this year, Trae, what year do you? What year do you? But moving on to this rookie class. This rookie class is amazing, man. And that's another thing that I'm just looking forward to in this year is just this rookie class. This rookie class has been amazing, and there's so many guys from top to bottom. All the way from number 1 to pick 58. There's so many guys that are good basketball players, bro, that legit can make an impact this season. Right? I really believe that. Let's talk about Ace Bailey a little bit. Ace Bailey averaging 16 points per game on 53% shooting, 41% from 3. And what I've been most impressed with is his defense, right? He's been really competing. He's been fighting through ball screens. And shout out to Will Hardy, right? He's making it easy for him. And he's a really good coach on a really bad basketball team, right? Ace Bailey is an amazing basketball player who I was really high on, but he kind of tanked his draft stock because of his management and different things like that. But he's been really dang good. As me watching him, I'm just basically saying I think you've been in the league for 4 to 5 years. Like that's what I see And Ace Bailey, like, you've really been in the league for 4 to 5 years. That's what I look at when I look at Ace Bailey. Cooper Flag. I think he's the most complete basketball player since LeBron James. Cooper Flag is really good, right? I think at 18 years old, he's the most complete prospect we've seen since LeBron James. Better than Anthony Davis in that aspect. Better than Kyrie Irving in that aspect. Better than Zion Williamson in that aspect. And those are generational prospects, right? I just think that Cooper Flag is more complete. In the preseason, he's averaging 10 points. He's not shooting that well from the field, but he's shooting pretty decent from three on 3 attempts, 5 boards, and 3 assists. And he's been playing a point, and he's been taking care of the basketball. He's been really good on backdoor cuts, right? He has been amazing in this preseason. I think that every rookie goes through their highs and lows, right? He's going to struggle, and he's going to have to find his niche in this league, but he's been really good. Really good. And he's going to be good on both sides of the ball, right? We can move on to VJ Edgecombe, right? Just watched this film I just watched this film a few hours ago. 28 points, 5 steals. And as a rookie, when you watch rookies, you like, okay, you might be really good offensively, but you got to find your niche on that end of the floor. What's our rotations defensively? Can he live up to the strength of the NBA? But let me tell you, VJ Edgecombe already looks like he's going to be an all-defensive caliber player in year 2, year 3. Like, his anticipation, his ball skills, his hands, his reads on that end is just amazing. And that just helps his game even more because I don't think he's that great in his shot creation areas of, in the half court. But in transition, he can go. He can go. He's so dynamic. He's super fast. He can finish through contact. He reminds me of a young Jimmy Butler and a Jalen Williams. That's what he reminds me of. Jalen Williams and a young Jimmy Butler. And him being paired with Maxey and Jared McCain and Quentin Grimes, guys who really can play fast. Jared McCain can get out of transition and spot up. And Maxey's going to make them passes in transition. I think that's a recipe for success. So look for the 76ers to play a lot faster this season. And Jace Richardson, to me, might be the steal of the draft. Might be the steal of the draft. He's really good. I don't think, watching a Magic game, I've seen him miss a three-pointer. He's shooting 70% from 3. And I wasn't as high on him coming in to the draft class because I said, okay, because they were saying he was marked to the Wolves. And I was like, I don't know about that because I don't know, like, what do they love about him? I mean, I know he's super efficient, but he's 6'1" max, right? 6'2" maybe, and he's not really a point guard. He's better off the ball. But the Magic is the perfect fit for him because they run the ball through Paolo. They run the ball through Franz like the Celtics do with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, so Derek White and Drew Holiday and all them guys don't have to facilitate much. So he can play off the ball and be efficient, right? And he showed me in this preseason that when he puts the ball in his hands, he can facilitate. He can make the right plays. And I really like him, man. I really like him. He's been super efficient. That's the perfect fit for him is the Orlando Magic. Dylan Harper. Comfortable, man. He looks like he's been in the league for 3 years. He's been super poised in his ball screen action. He's been getting Wemby involved a ton. He's been super efficient. 10 points per game, 5.5 assists, and he's only averaging 1 turnover. You would think a rookie coming in to the NBA, you would struggle with taking care of the ball, but he's been super poised, super efficient, right? Oklahoma City's rookies, I can't, and these are late round draft picks. I think Chris Youngblood, if I'm not mistaken, he went undrafted. And I think Oklahoma City's getting to that point where you remember when the Warriors back in the day, right? When they just get a player and you're just like, oh, they're going to be good. Like, there's no doubt in my mind they're going to be good. It's the Warriors, bro. Like, they're going to be good. Whatever free agent, whatever the guy they draft, whoever they get, oh, yeah, they're going to be good. They're on the Warriors, right? They're going to be solid. You can go from Jordan Bell to Quinn Cook, right? to Patrick McCaw. Even he was solid, right? Leonardo Barbosa, Sean Livingston, like all these guys were just solid, bro. It's getting to the point where I'm looking at Oklahoma City. I'm like, okay, their rookies might get injured first year, but they're gonna be really good. They're gonna be really good, right? Topic. I know he hasn't played one game in the NBA. I have no doubt in my mind he's gonna be good when he gets healthy. Thomas Sorber, I was really high on him, even though he got hurt at Georgetown. I think he should have went higher. I think he's gonna be a really good basketball player. Everybody they draft is good. Everybody they draft has super high upside. Because guess what? We have Shea, J Dub, and Chet locked in for 6 to 7 years, right? However long the extension is. And all you have to do is come play 3-and-D basketball. Excuse me. All they have to do is play 3-and-D basketball, right? I don't know how to pronounce his name, Bardenheiser, however you announce it, right? He shot the ball 26% from 3 in Northwestern, but he defended his butt off, right? All Oklahoma City did was say, okay, he can defend. Guess what? We can raise that 26% from 3. You come in here and shoot 50% from 3 in the preseason. You come here and you shoot 50% from 3 in the preseason. Chris Youngblood, a really good shooter at Alabama. They got a steal. He's shooting 40% from 3. And it's easy because you already got the shot making. Just play defense. And it's not hard to play defense when you're already around the best defense ever. It's really getting to that point where whoever they draft is going to be good. Oh, yeah, they got drafted by the Thunder. They're going to be good. I don't have to do no scout on them. I don't have to look at their film. I just know they're going to be good. I just know they're going to be good. So I'm just super excited about this rookie class. You can go from Trey Johnson, Ace Bailey, Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper. Ryan Kalkbrenner has been amazing in the preseason. You can go Yon Baron J. He's been amazing in the preseason. He was amazing in summer league, right? He has super high upside. I wasn't really high on him, but he has super high upside. I've been impressed. You can go in the second round. You go Rasheer Fleming. I really like Tyrese Proctor. He's been amazing in the preseason, right? And I like Walter Clayton. There's so many guys from number 1 to all the way to 58 that can really play basketball. We really need expansion like now. And if you love rookies, you gotta love this draft class. This has potential to be an all-time great draft class, all-time great. And I'm saying that I'm giving that take already because of how deep it is. How many guys I think that can be like really good, that can be serviceable now and really good in the future, right? Moving on to the sophomores that I've been impressed with in this preseason. Booz Ellis. If you are a Bulls fan, you need to be just excited about the future because I think they did a really good thing with drafting Booz Ellis. If you look at that draft class, you probably say, Tijon Salon got drafted over Matas Buzelis? What are we doing? What are we doing? Right? Buzelis has been really good. We already know how good he is in transition. I've been impressed with his defense and his three-point shot making. He's been knocking down catch and shoot threes, right? And Buzelis has been amazing on defense, right? And he had 5 blocks against the Nuggets the other day. 5 blocks. He had 5 blocks. Like, if you look at the Bulls roster, they don't really have a ton of good defenders on that team. Their defense is going to be bad. But if you look at that roster, they only have 2 to 3 good defenders. All the rest are buns. Dalen Terry, Buzelis, and if you want to throw Trey Jones in there, that's fine. Isaac Okoro. Let me mention him as well. But everybody, Josh Giddey. You would think Patrick Williams is a good defender. Vucevic, right? Zach Collins. All these guys are not good defenders. But Buzelis said, scratch that. I'm going to come in and I'm going to be a good defender. And he's doing that, right? He's using every little ounce. Every huge ounce of that wingspan that he has. And he's blocking shots left and right, man. And he's super excited. Like, the Bulls are going to suck, right? But they're going to be super exciting to watch. And if you're a Bulls fan, you should be excited for the future. That's let me tone down a little bit. It's the Bulls. Their management team sucks. But Khalil Ware, he's poised for a breakout, and he's just a SPO product. I said when I made a video on my TikTok page, he's just a SPO product, right? He's really good. And coming into this year and last year, and when he got drafted, the scout on him was he didn't really have a high motor, right? And Spo is one of them guys, and Pat Riley's one of them guys, and it's just heat culture. If you don't play hard, you're not gonna play. So all it took was a little tough love, and he got every little drip, an ounce of every talent that 7 foot athletic. I can jump out the gym. I'm quick off the ground. I can block shots at the goal. I can be a defensive anchor. He got every single thing out of him. In the summer league and in the preseason, he's even adding that little. I'm gonna get the ball in the post. I'm gonna hit a little jump hook and make it. Over guys like Jaren Jackson because I have a long wingspan, because I'm legit 7 foot, right? So he's been really good in the preseason. He's impressed me a ton, and I like the lineup with him at the center and Bam at the 4. And Norman Powell, he showed me a ton in the preseason. He can really score the basketball. If you don't watch Norman Powell, if you really underestimate how good he is, he's underrated. Norman Powell can really score the basketball. And I think that he's going to fit really well in that Heat offense, right? That I'm hearing they want to push the pace some more. I just don't really trust their bench. But that's a different discussion for a different day. But this is pretty big what I'm about to say. Because I see 2 leaps coming. And they're going to be huge for the NBA going forward. They're going to be huge for the NBA going forward. And they go by the names of Wemby and Shea. And you're probably saying, whoa, Shea? How can Shea Gilgeous-Alexander have a lead? He's won Finals MVP. He's coming off of an MVP. He's coming off of a scoring title. He's coming off of a championship. How does Shea have a leap when he's a top 3 player in the world already? Bro, I'm going to give this take. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to take a leap this year. And if you're in the Western Conference, if your team is in the Western Conference, you should be shaking. Legit shaking. You should be praying to God that Shai does not take this leap that that I think is going to happen. Because if he does, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will be the best player in the world. He's going to be the best player in the world. Let me just read you some numbers, right? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the preseason, per 36, because he didn't play that much time, right? In every single play, in every single game that he played, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander averaged 32 points, 10 assists, three steals, 4.5 boards. Let me read that again. 32 points, 10 assists, 3 steals, and 4 boards. I think there's like a block or 2 in there too. Not only that, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander shot 70% from the field and 40% from 3. He only missed 4 shots. I said 10 assists, and he barely turned the ball over. I was watching Starting Five the other day, and he said that every time I play, I don't think I play good enough. And he's just in love with just getting better. So the leap that I think is going to come from Shai, right? And if the Nuggets are just not flat out better than the Thunder because they took them to 7 last year, and I believe that the Nuggets got better, Shai will be on an elite trajectory to the point where he has a chance to be a top 10 player ever to play this game. Because if the Nuggets don't do it, I don't think anybody can. And Shai will be another Finals MVP. He'll be another MVP. He'll be and win another scoring title. It will be +4 assists up, or +2, or whatever it is up. He averaged 6.5 last year. And he'll win another championship. This is some Michael Jordan-esque things going on from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Put some respect on his name. And about the respect word, people think that I don't give a lot of respect to Wembanyama. Wembanyama is a really good basketball player, man, and he's one of those guys where I think he's the only player to me that can go from a fringe top 10 player to a top 3 player in the world in one season. Wembanyama, I think, is going to take a leap this year. He averaged in per 36, 30 points, 15 rebounds, 3.5 blocks, and 2 steals. He's still, I still think his balance needs to be better in his reads because he's averaging 8 turnovers and 7 assists per 36. And he's averaging 1 less turnover than his assist if you look at his regular numbers. So he's turned the ball over a ton. But what I've really been impressed with is his shot diet. He's only taking 3.5 threes per game, right? And if you look at last year, he took 8 plus threes per game. He took about 9, I believe. So that was my biggest thing for him. You need to figure out what kind of player you are. Well, am I going to be a Karl-Anthony Towns or am I going to be a Giannis? Am I going to be both? And I think he's starting to say, okay, I'm going to be both, right? Them three-point attempts, they're going to come, right? They're going to come. I'm going to get catch and shoot three-point opportunities. I'm going to get pull-up threes. I'm going to get, because you can't contest me. I'm 7'5". But I'm going to also go in the paint, and I'm going to put my shoulder down on the Pacers, and I'm going to slam it on you, and you can't do anything about it because I'm 7'5". And that's the why I think Wemby would be the best player in the world one day, because he could be Giannis, Karl-Anthony Towns, or Giannis, KP, and Hakeem Olajuwon all in one player. Or it can be Anthony Davis, Giannis, and whatever big can shoot a 3-point ball at an elite level, all in one player. And that deems me the best player in the world because you can't stop anything that I do. He looks much stronger, right, in his game. He looks a little bit more balanced. I still want to see his balance be able to improve. And his handle improved. I seen him hit a tween, hezzy, to the side step, pull up, fade away, mid-range, bang. I'm like, okay, Wemby, okay, Wemby, okay. But so I think that Wemby's going to be a top 7 player if you don't already have him already. And to me, I've caught a lot of slack for where I've put him at. I just think that, we pushed him a little bit too high on our rankings. I've seen that they had him at top 5 and whatever Bleacher Report. I'm like, no, man, because I'm a guy that likes to see it first, right? I want to see him in a playoff setting. I want to see him, just get better, right? Because there's a lot of people that say Wemby's a top 7 player, then see him in the playoffs and say he struggles because he's super young and he's super raw still, and say he sucks. They do it to a ton of players. There's real people that are actually giving Anthony Edwards. There are actually thinks Anthony Edwards is not as good as he is because he went to back-to-back conference finals at an early age and he lost and he didn't play that well. There's actual people that believe that. There's people that think Tatum is not as good as he really is because he's had success in an early age, right? Because he doesn't have an MVP award. Because he doesn't have a Finals MVP award. There's actual people that think that. And it just sucks. Because if you have early success, you're going to be... You have pressure for the rest of your career. Literally. You have pressure for the rest of your career. Say Tatum doesn't go to the finals ever again. They're gonna say Tatum sucks forever, and he's not a good basketball player. He's not as good as we think he was. And that's just life. That's just what people do in the media. And me, I don't want to do that. I don't do that. I want to see Wemby progress. Like if he struggles in his first playoff series, okay, so what? It's because I kept it honest with myself and I said that Wembanyama still has flaws in his game that he needs to work on. Right? I didn't say Wemby was a top 7 player in the world in the regular season or top 5 player in the world in the regular season when I know there's players better than him that have legit went farther in the playoffs, like a Ant, like a Tatum, like a I'm not gonna do that to Wemby. That's disingenuous to me, in my opinion. But one thing that I pulled from the Nuggets is I talked about them a lot in the preseason. I mean, in the season predictions and the season previews. But they're gonna score 1,000,000 points a game. They're going to score 1,000,000 points. It is what it is. And what I'm super impressed with is Jamal Murray. Excuse me. Jamal Murray, he looks looks like he's ready for this regular season, right? He looks like he's in good shape. Looks like he's healthy. He looks energized. And Jamal Murray doesn't really look energized coming into the year. I heard he has a good training camp. He's, to me, having a really good preseason. And I think it's one of them years where Jamal Murray has a really good regular season. We know that how shaky he's been throughout the course of a regular season. I think this year he fixes that. He fixes that. And I think that the Nuggets are going to score 1,000,000 points. They have a chance to have a top 3 offense and the best offense in the NBA. Because you put all these 3-and-D guys around Jokic, you put all these scores around Jokic, and you don't even have to use up 38 minutes of. You don't have to play Jokic 40 minutes a game. And guess what? We get better bench scoring when Jokic exits the game, right? They've already proved it in the preseason. So that literally makes them a better offense already, right? And the Clippers. I really like the Clippers. I think the Clippers will be a 50-win team this year. I've been super impressed with the Clippers. Kawhi looks really healthy. He looks fast. He looks strong. And I think he's going to get back to the Kawhi we know. And I know it's not the Kawhi 2019 Kawhi. No, it's not 2019 Kawhi. But I think that Kawhi is he looks good, right? And Joel Embiid. These are two guys that really haven't played in the preseason. Joel Embiid just played in the preseason yesterday, and he hasn't played in the preseason since 2023 in October. So if these two guys have healthy seasons, I'm just gonna be amazed, man. I'm gonna be excited because these are two players that can go toe to toe. Well, Embiid's a top 3, top 5 player when he's healthy, but Kawhi can go toe to toe in a playoff series with your best player, right? Like there's times where you can go toe to toe with a Jokic, with a Giannis, right? With a Shea, with a LeBron, with a Luka. Like he can go toe to toe in a playoff series, right? Kawhi's that good. He's that good. We talk about the Cavs a little bit. Lonzo Ball, I think he's better in the long run, right? Because he's a little bit different from Ty Jerome, right? He gives you a 6'6" guard, 6'6" guard who reminds me a little bit of Rondo a little bit. And he struggled a bit in this preseason, but in his last game he had 9 points, 9 assists, and 3 blocks. And Ty Jerome is a really good regular season player. Like he's gonna score a lot of points in a regular season, right? He's gonna be in a running for a 6-man a year in a regular season because he's gonna get to his floater. He's gonna make good decisions. But in the playoffs, he's just not, he's just not strong enough when they put them bigger defenders because you can't play him with Darius Garland. You can't do it. So he has to come in and be your backup PG. He's not gonna go on the other end and defend. And when you put your big defenders on him, he's not strong enough to get by them. He's not tall enough to shoot over them. And when they don't let him get to them floaters, then it's just a different. He just struggles, right? He's a better 3-point. I think he's a better 3-point shooter than Lonzo. But Lonzo's exactly what they need. They don't need more 3-point shooting. They need better defense. They need a guy who can still come in off the bench and legit run the offense. But he's not going to be maybe froze out of a playoff series just because he's limited, right? I think Lonzo Ball, he's been good in the past. His 3-point shot has drastically improved, but he's been a really good offensive engine for teams, right? For the Lakers, for the Pelicans. Like, he can really make good decisions, right? That was a big thing for him coming into the draft class. So that's why he got drafted second to the Lakers, because he can score and he can pass the ball at a high level. Like, he reminds me of Rajon Rondo. Not to the he's not as smart as Rondo, but is a guy who can go on the other end, defend, and can make really good high IQ plays on offense. So I really like that what they added in there. But to me, I think the Cavs are going to regress in the aspect of they're not going to win 64 games, right? They're not going to win 64 games. I think that losing Darius Garland is going to be a big, huge miss for the beginning of the year. And losing Max Strus, I think that extra shooting that he gives you, I think that's going to be a huge loss for however long they're out. Right? I don't think they're going 64 games. They're going to win a lot of games, especially in the weak East. But 64, I'm a little shaky. But just to throw some other stuff out here, I'm getting to the end of the video. Bryce Sensabaugh has been amazing, right? Like, he's been amazing, man. He can really score the ball. Talking about bringing back to Kenny Beecham. Kenny Beecham said Bryce Sensabaugh can really score, but don't ask him to do anything else. But I'm really interested, especially at the beginning of the season, these low tier teams like the Wizards, like the Jazz, like the Hornets. I really like Keontae George. I really like Isaiah Collier. I really like Ace Bailey. I really like Bryce Hinterval. I really like Taylor Hendricks. I really like Trey Johnson. I really like Will Riley on the Wizards. I really like. I get him and Keontae George mixed up because they have the same name, Keyshawn George. Keyshawn George. I like Keyshawn George. I like Alex Sarr. I like LaMelo Ball. I like Brandon Miller. I really want to see what he does this year. Colin Knuple, Ryan Cockburner. So Diabate. I like Diabate as well. He's a guy who's going to play hard. He's going to play super hard out there. But we're going to end the video on this. Anthony Edwards will be a first-team All-NBA player. See y'all next week.